Welcome to WagerTalk TV. It is Masters Week, and so I'm joined by our favorite golf specialist, Brady Kannon. I'm Kelly Stewart. You guys can give Brady a follow at Las Vegas Golfer on Twitter. And also right now you can take 50% off Brady's Masters package at WagerTalk.com using coupon code MASTERS50. All right, we're talking sleeper picks. And then I got a couple other sleeper questions. But tell me who you like. Let's just say at least 25 to 1 or greater. Like these kind of guys that maybe we don't hear about too often that you like to potentially pull off some crazy upset at the Masters.
Yeah, you know, and in the neighborhood of 25 to 30 to 40 to 1, there's actually a lot of big name players. We talked about Mark Leishman, we talked about Paul Casey, you know, some top 30, 40 ranked players in the world that are still in that neighborhood of 30 or 40 to 1. I'll go a little deeper for you. One guy is Patrick Cantlay, and I think you can probably find him in the neighborhood of 50 to 1. Has had great success here in Las Vegas, won this tournament. He's very efficient from tee to green, a very accurate player, a ball striker type guy. Now, he's only played the Masters twice. Inexperience is probably his worst enemy right now. But I expect him to do well. You know, he's a younger kid, and I think he has all the tools to succeed. I don't know if he's going to win the thing, but again, a sleeper pick that I would take a look at. Another one, a guy that's been playing really well for a couple of years now, an older guy, is Ian Poulter. And that's probably the one thing going against him. Guys in their 40s typically don't win the Masters. 1986, Jack Nicklaus, when he was 46 years old, pulled off the trick, but that's Jack.
Well, that's an interesting stat, though, so maybe you should be looking towards some of the younger guys.
Yeah, it's, you know, and we talked about course history with Augusta, and you can really make a lot of trends because things typically happen year in and year out at Augusta. And one of those things that happens is guys that are 40 years old or better typically don't win. So you can throw out Matt Kuchar, Tiger Woods, and Phil Mickelson, unfortunately, who are all in their 40s. Well, so is Ian Poulter, but Poulter just came off of a great Ryder Cup. He's been playing excellent golf, some of the best golf of his career, and I think you can find him in the neighborhood of 60 to 80 to 1. And then another one, a fellow Kansas State Wildcat, Gary Woodland, who I grabbed from Jeff Sherman over at the Westgate when he first put up the odds in August. Gary Woodland had a great wraparound season during the fall. He had a couple of top 10 finishes and was really going strong, and that was on the heels of his 6th place finish at the PGA Championship in St. Louis last summer. That was his best ever finish in a major championship. So I think Gary Woodland is really starting to become a player that is going to contend in majors on a regular basis. I was able to get him at 125 to 1. He's now down to about 50 or 60, but I still think this guy is going to have a good week and is somebody to take into account. And maybe you look at him at head-to-head matchups if you don't think he's going to win at all. And then finally, the Augusta, Georgia native, Charles Howell III. Got to be really thrilling for him to come back home and get to play this event again in his own backyard. Howell's been maybe having his best year ever on tour, a lot of top 10 finishes. The one thing that has probably inhibited Charles Howell at the Masters is he has a very low ball flight, a very low piercing ball flight. And at the Masters, the guys that succeed oftentimes have a very high arcing shot. Now, it's supposed to the wind is supposed to blow this week, and that could favor a guy like Charles Howell, who has that lower trajectory. But you can find Charles Howell probably in the neighborhood of 100 to 1, and with the way he's playing and his familiarity with the area and the course, I think he's another sleeper to take a look at.
Okay, so this morning I wake up and I get this giant email packet from the Westgate, and I said, who knew that you could bet all these things? Listen, we know you can bet head-to-heads. We know you can bet to win, but there is a ton of Masters props. First question is, how do I sift through all of it? And second question is, what do you generally look for in terms of value, and what do you like to bet in props for the Masters?
Yeah, you know, really golf in general. The Masters is when we see it all come out, because that's when all the sports books put out their full menu. But in the UK, it's like every golf tournament. You have all this stuff. Golf has so many different ways you can bet on it. It makes it really fun. But for the Masters, you'll find it just about everywhere. And you talk about prop bets. There's a couple of different markets I like to look at. And one is, will he miss or make the cut? And you can find some really good plus prices on guys that you think might have a shot at missing the cut. Patrick Reed is your defending champion, and we've seen, you know, the nerves of a defending champion hit that first tee, and they're just flushed with this emotion.
I mean, we did see it with Jordan Spieth as well.
Right, and I think it's really difficult to go in there wearing the green jacket and to repeat. We've only had 3 back-to-back winners in the history of the Masters: Nick Faldo, Tiger Woods, and Jack Nicklaus. So it's very difficult to repeat repeat that performance, and then all of the pressure that comes with being the defending champion, the media commitments, and again, just that. You remember that feeling of winning your first major, you're likely to crumble your second time out. And Patrick Reed's been having an awful year, and I think you can find him to miss the cut at around plus 250. So there's one, and there's other guys that, you know, if you have a feeling that they might miss the cut, you can find some really good plus prices. So I like that prop bet. And then the other one that I think is a lot of fun is where they break down the top senior, or the top Masters rookie, top debutante, or the top Asian, or the top senior. Like, you know, the seniors play in the majors that have won this thing before. Bernhard Langer, Vijay Singh, Fred Couples. Who's going to do the best in that market? Who's going to do the best in the Asian market? Siwoo Kim, Hideki Matsuyama. So I think it's fun. It's almost like a mini Masters. You know, who's going to win just in this subset of the entire tournament? So a lot of different ways to have fun with the Masters.
Awesome. Great stuff from Brady. Guys, right now you can get 50% off Brady's Masters package at WagerTalk.com using coupon code MASTERS50.